Hi, in this video tutorial, we'll be walking through how to import habitat, boundary, or conservation action data using our rights-of-way as habitat template geodatabase, as well as how to export your organization's data as a geodatabase in ArcGIS Pro. These are typically done by your organization's data manager and/or account administrator. You can find more video tutorials for the geospatial database on our website under Tutorials and Resources. Organization-specific questions regarding importing or exporting data can be directed to rowhwg@uic.edu. As a member of the Rights-of-Way as Habitat Geospatial Database, you have the option to collect habitat data via the ArcGIS Survey 123 mobile application, which automatically syncs with the database. Refer to our tutorial video, Downloading and Using Survey 123, or to the Geospatial Database User's Guide, which is available on our website under Downloads for more information. In addition, you have access to our tools in ArcGIS Pro, where you can add and edit any of your organization's data in the database. Early conversations with utility and transportation organizations during the development of the geospatial database highlighted the importance of establishing an option to bulk import habitat, boundary, and conservation action data. This is helpful for organizations with pre-existing right-of-way habitat geospatial data or organizations choosing to collect data through their own systems. Our rights-of-way as habitat template geodatabase allows your organization to easily upload these data with our system in order to consolidate records, streamline workflows, or make use of our CCAA and other reporting tools. Before beginning the bulk data importing process, the following steps must be completed. Your organization must be registered with the Geospatial database, which establishes your user accounts. As defined in this process, an account administrator or data manager will then need to access ArcGIS Pro on their desktop computer and log in using their rights-of-way as habitat geospatial database login credentials. Step-by-step instructions are available in our user's guide. Finally, your organization should review our schema guidance document and database schema. These documents provide a detailed index of each of the feature classes and tables included within the geospatial database. The first tab in the Excel file briefly defines each feature class, which are center lines, management areas, sites, and pollinator scorecard points, as well as separate tables, which are programs, management area, conservation measures, and site conservation measures. Click on their corresponding tabs to view specific attribute information, including data type, whether a field is required, and see which fields are auto-populated. Now we'll walk through the data importing process in ArcGIS Pro. So here I have ArcGIS Pro opened. You should be logged into the Esri account associated with the rights-of-way as habitat geospatial database, the top right corner. Open the Row Tools project by clicking Settings, Open, selecting Portal, and then expanding your organization's management group, and double-clicking Row Tools. Here you'll find the tools available to you as a data manager or account administrator in ArcGIS Pro by expanding the Shared Tools toolbox in the Catalog pane. If not already visible, open Tasks by selecting View and Tasks. This window organizes tools into simple workflows to guide you through importing and exporting data, managing programs and conservation measures, and reporting processes. Expand importing and exporting data and click on the arrow to prepare data for import. After reviewing schema guidance and schema template documents, this workflow loads your data into a downloaded staging template geodatabase. Select Run to download a copy of the latest right-of-way database schema. If you've already started preloading the latest schema with your data, you can skip this step. Now we can load data by feature class, starting with center lines. If you don't have data for a particular feature class, skip that step. Click on the folder to select your input dataset and select the corresponding feature class with the center lines data you would like imported. The target dataset should be set to the staging template layer you are importing. So in this case, I can leave centerline staging. For schema type, use the dropdown to select use the field map to reconcile schema differences. This option allows you to reconcile any fields in your data source that don't match the template geodatabase. You can also remove a field by clicking on the red X on the right-hand side. Before running the tool, you may need to make sure that the global ID field has been changed to GUID to avoid receiving an error. So select global ID, select properties, and change the type to GUID. If you encounter a failure, review the resulting error message by clicking on View Details. Repeat this process for management areas, sites, and so on, skipping any feature classes you don't have data for. After loading the template geodatabase, you'll save a local copy of this staging geodatabase. I've created a folder for this importing process and will save it as tutorial demo staging. And then click Run. Then you can click Finish to finish this part of the importing process. The next steps give you a chance to review how your data will import and merge with existing data before running the actual import. This step is also optional. We strongly recommend backing up any existing data in the database before running the importing process. Select your organization. We strongly recommend backing up any existing data in the database before running the importing process. This first step asks you, it's optional, it asks you to add any online right-of-way data to the map, which you can do in the catalog pane by selecting Portal, finding your organization, right-clicking your REST organization data, and selecting Add to Current Map. So this lets you see any current data in the database, and this is what you'll be backing up in the next step. So to back up your data, you'll want to use the drop-down to select your organization and then name a output data set. The next step gives you a chance to review how your data will import and merge with existing data before running the actual import. This step is also optional. To create a preview, select your organization from the drop-down list. Select your previously saved staging geodatabase. And name an output data set. For import option, you can either append, which adds any new records to your organization's existing records, if any, or purge and replace, which deletes all existing records from the database and replaces it with data from your input data set. In this case, we'll leave append. The next dropdown allows you to select whether you want to update or skip matching ID field records. In this case, this option will have no effect because I know that my centerline site and management area. Open the new geodatabase file to preview your data import. So I can see my two new fields are here and have been added correctly to the existing data in this preview geodatabase. Do the same for management areas. Once I've confirmed that everything is imported properly, you can move to the final step, which is actually importing the data to the database. This process is the same as previewing your planned import, except this time you won't need to save a local copy of the import. So I'm going to select my organization. Again, select the staging geodatabase, since we've now confirmed that that imports correctly. I'll leave these two options the same and click Finish. Lastly, you can navigate to your organization's data portal again. Find your organization. Add your data to the map. And I can see that these fields have been added correctly. I can zoom to them. So this is the new data that I've added. I can also view the newly added sites. So that all looks good. Switching gears, we'll now cover the right-of-way export tool, which we just use actually to back up our data during the bulk import process. This tool can be accessed at any time if you'd like to save a local copy of your organization's data. This may be helpful if you are looking to merge your habitat or land management data with another system, or to further analyze your data in other ways. Currently, it's only possible to export all of your organization's data. So if you, for example, want only your pollinator scorecard data, you'd still need to use this tool and then isolate or export the data by feature class from your local copy. Again, you'll want to open your organization's row tools project in ArcGIS Pro. If you've accessed it before, you may see it saved here under recent projects, so you can just double click that. In the catalog pane, expand toolboxes, shared tools, and then double click on the row export tool. Same as before, select your organization from the drop-down and name and output geodatabase. It's important to add the GDB at the end and then click run. Okay, after it's run successfully, I can close out of the tool, open my folders, and connect to the folder where I saved and then expand on the exported geodatabase. Going back to that earlier example, I can now go into this database and see where I've saved my pollinator scorecard data. So I can pull that into the map and then open its attribute table and see all of my organization's attribute data. Then I can easily click on the 3 lines on the right-hand side, select export. And then create an output name. So this is pollinator scorecard data. If I wanted, I could edit the fields included here. So if I didn't want to include any of this at the end, just remove that and press OK. So now I can minimize this, open that folder, and I can see that my pollinator scorecard data is saved here in XML format. Thanks for watching this ArcGIS Pro importing and exporting data tutorial. If you have any questions, you can email our team at rowhwg@uic.edu.